All right, well, here's what we've been talking about. Over the past few months, pressure has been mounting on Washington Redskins owner Dan Snyder to change the name of the football team, which many Native and non-Native Americans find offensive. Now, the Federal Communications Commission is reviewing a petition to deem the term Redskins indecent and to yank the license of a radio station owned by Snyder for using it. FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler says he's sympathetic to those who find the term offensive, but others question whether a ban would pass muster.
Redskins was what? It connotes, scalps. We get that. But, listen, this is free speech from a corporation. They're allowed to name the team what they want.
Yeah, really. I mean, we don't want the FCC stepping in here and telling us what language. They're already telling us that too much language is offensive. I mean, here it is. You can use any term you want on cable, but you can't use it on broadcast. You don't want them coming up with a better list. This is an individual decision. The Boston Globe still uses the term Redskins. I think it's CBS has decided not to. It's individual, but until Dan Snyder decides if and when to change the name of the team, the term is going to be used.
Well, this is an educational moment for people, because this reminds us that broadcast does not enjoy the full protection of the First Amendment. Now, if the FCC were to actually go ahead and ban the term Redskin, that would be going way beyond anything they've gone in the past. But the fact is, broadcasters don't have the free speech rights that they ought to have. And as far as what the FCC is doing here, they've received a petition. I assume that they have to at least go through the motions of taking it seriously, and that raises the specter of censorship. I mean, I would like to see any broadcaster voluntarily say, we are not going to use that term because it's racially derogatory, but it should not be mandated by the government.
A couple of broadcasters have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that just makes me uncomfortable. That's a step too far. I would hope that the growing coming together and coalition around people saying this is offensive, get it away from us, both from corporations and media folk, will eventually have an impact. And everybody who feels strongly about it needs to continue to speak up about it. But I'm very uncomfortable with the FCC taking this step, because for one thing, it makes me nervous about the temporary folks at that table defining in this moment what is bad language, when the next group can have another definition.
I think the reason that this is happening, and the reason that we're seeing more interest in sort of legal steps that could be done to remove the name, is because Dan Snyder has made it very clear that he's just not going to change the name. He's gotten the support of the other owners in the NFL. He's gotten the support of the commissioner, who also has his own other problems widely across the league. And so that's why you see people trying to mount sort of a larger defense about why this is bad. To most people, they would probably say, yes, this is an offensive term. It's ridiculous that this team name is being used in 2014. And so instead you have people looking to places like the FCC to get some sort of way to change the name. I think it was a couple of months ago that the U.S. Patent Office said that they might revoke the trademark for the Redskins name. Now, that's not going to do anything because the team is going to appeal it, and so the merchandise will still be flowing and Dan Snyder will still be making money. But I think it's reached a point now where you have so many news organizations. You have newspapers like the Seattle Times and like the Detroit News, a lot of different websites who are saying we're just not going to use the name, that people want to see some sort of momentum around this. And I also agree that I don't think the FCC necessarily needs to intervene in something like this, but I can see why people are looking to sort of outside forces to help push something like this along.
And I want to underscore what Dan said, because I do think it's going to be an educational moment for all of us, because it'll get a thorough airing, and we'll get a chance to talk about who defines, or do we want this group defining what bad language is, and to what extent, and why do we not? I think all of that will come out, which is a good discussion, and maybe because we all are some people are very fuzzy about what is exactly free speech, that can also, we can have a discussion about that as well.
Yeah, these regulations are outmoded. It's time for them to go.
Yeah, the whole thing should go. I agree. We should be able to say anything we want.